Let's see now.
And the queen is still talking.
Ah, yes, yes.
Yeah.
All he has achieved, he drags to the precipice, right?
Yes.
This she's speaking about man.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
And we had discussed that before we start, I can read it and then move to today's session.
I think that's a very good idea. So let me go back to 440.
Yeah.
You read the whole thing.
Yes.
Very good. Yes. Okay. So all walks inarmed.
Yeah. I'll just read the previous line too because it just like
Yeah.
ended with the full stop the line before. On nature's gifts to man a curse was laid. All walks enarmed by its own opposites. Error is the comrade of our mortal thought, and falsehood lurks in the deep bosom of truth. Sin poisons with its vivid flowers of joy, or leaves a red scar burnt across the soul. Virtue is a grey bondage and a jail. Every step, at every step is laid us, at every step is laid for us a snare, alien to reason and the spirit's light. Our fount of action from a darkness wells, in ignorance and nescience are our roots. A growing register of calamities is the past's account, the future's book of fate. The centuries pile man's follies and man's crimes upon upon the countless crowd of nature's ills, as if the world's stone as if the world's stone load was not enough. A crop of miseries obstinately is sown by his own hand in the furrows of the gods. The vast increasing tragic harvest reaped from old misdeeds buried by oblivious time. He walks by his own choice into hell's trap. This mortal creature is his own worst foe. His science is an artificer of doom. He ransacks earth for means to harm his kind. He slays his happiness and others' good. Nothing has he learned from time and its history. Even as of old in the raw youth of time, when earth ignorant ran on the highway of fate, old forms of evil cling to the world's soul. War.
Highways, plural.
Okay.
When earth ignorant ran on the highways, many highways of fate. Okay. You're
When
reading very, very well. Very well. Keep on.
okay. When earth ignorant ran on the highways of fate, old forms of evil cling to the world's soul. War making not the sweet smiling calm of life. Battle and rapine, ruin and massacre are still the fierce pastimes of man's warring tribes. An idiot hour destroys what centuries made. His wanton rage or frenzied hate lays low the beauty and greatness of his genius wrought, and the
By
mighty
by
by
his
the beauty and the greatness by his genius wrought, and the mighty output of a nation's toil. All he has achieved he drags to the precipice.
Well, it's excellent reading. This is probably the best you've done so far.
Okay.
There was one word, fierce, and
Fierce.
that's where we get into that fierce. No,
Fierce.
no. Think of your ear, fierce,
Okay.
fierce.
Fierce. Fierce.
No ear in there. You and
Fierce.
Jess, same problem. I thought of another word, seer,
Seer.
Seer. How would you say
Seer.
seer? No,
Seer.
it's no seer. There's no ear in it. It's just an ear. Something
Ear.
that's eerie. Ear.
Eerie. Eerie.
Ah, now you got it. Eerie.
Seer. Seer.
See, fierce.
Fierce.
You got it.
Fierce.
Have to work on that a bit. You're recording,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah,
you
I'm
can
recording.
listen to that over and over again. But you're making very good progress. The reading was
Thank you,
excellent.
Narad.
The phrasing was excellent. If I had
Hmm.
to make a small observation, I would say perhaps a little more intensity in some of the lines. Battle and rapine, ruin and massacre. See, these are
Okay.
strong words. Are
Hmm.
the fierce pastimes of man's warring tribes.
Hmm.
She's very strong about this. She's
Hmm.
so strong, in fact, she says that an idiot hour
Hmm.
destroys what centuries made. And I think we've talked about this briefly of these people of ISIS and other groups who have
Yeah.
who have destroyed the great temples of the
Yes.
the East.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what she's telling us, and she's extremely upset by this. I've lost your picture now. I don't know why. Oh, there you are, back again.
Okay.
Okay, got you
Yeah.
back again. Yeah. So so we're okay on all of
Okay.
this, and we're ready to go to the next page.
Okay.
She's
His
not finished.
grandeur. Yeah, she's not finished. She's still 1.5 page left.
Yes.
Yeah. His grandeur he turns to an epic of doom and fall. His littleness crawls content through squalor and mud. He calls heaven's retribution on his head and wallows in his self-made misery.
Yeah, I don't think it's an in wallows. I think it's wallows. Wall,
Wallows. Okay.
wallow,
Sorry, I think
wallow,
it's the Indian pronunciation coming in. Wallows.
wallows. Yeah. So now we have
Wallows. Okay.
a few words that we should look at carefully.
Yeah.
His grandeur. His grandeur is his nobility or
Hmm.
his greatness of character.
Okay.
And then we have the word squalor.
Yeah.
Squalor is, I would say, disgustingly dirty and filthy.
Okay.
His littleness crawls content, not content, but content. And you read it properly.
Content. Okay.
So
Yeah.
that means satisfied, content,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
through squalor and mud, through these dirty, filthy conditions. And
Hmm.
then he calls retribution on his head. Retribution is the punishment for evil done,
Okay.
punishment for evil. And wallows, oh my gosh, wallows. Wallows is to revel in, to luxuriate in.
Okay.
So she's saying here that even his grandeur, even man's grandeur, and she acknowledges that man has grandeur, and
Hmm.
she's but he turns it. He turns
Hmm.
it into an epic of doom and fall,
Hmm.
and then his littleness crawls content through
Hmm.
squalor and mud.
Hmm.
And he calls retribution on his head. Why? Well, because he knows he's done evil, and he wants the punishment for the evil that he's done.
Hmm.
So it's punishment. Retribution is punishment for
Yeah.
evil done, and
Hmm.
then he follows in his self-made misery. Nobody made the misery for him. Man makes it for himself.
Self. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was quite a few comments, but there are a lot in this section, so we have to go a little slowly.
Okay. A
They pause.
part author of the cosmic tragedy, his his will conspires with death and time and fate. His brief appearance on the enigmate earth, ever
Enigmud, like a mud,
enigma.
like
Okay,
mud, en,
enigma.
enigmud earth.
His brief appearance on the enigmate earth ever recurs, but brings no high result to this wanderer through the eon rings of God that shut his life in their vast longevity.
Longevity. Ja,
Longe- Longevity.
longevity. Very good. So she acknowledges that he's only a part author of this cosmic tragedy
Hmm.
because he doesn't authorize death. He does authorize evil or something like that, but not death. So he's
Hmm.
only part author
Hmm.
of this cosmic tragedy. And she doesn't see any comedy here. She sees only tragedy.
Tragedy. Hmm.
Man is just a part author of this cosmic tragedy. And what else? Well, he conspires with death
Hmm.
and time and fate. So he works out things. To conspire is actually to work together towards the same result, towards the same
Hmm.
goal. So
Yeah.
you act or you work together when you
Hmm.
conspire with something. His brief appearance on the enigmaed earth. Well, this enigma is kind of a puzzle, a riddle.
Hmm.
It's something mystifying. It's an obscure thing. It's an obscure question. It doesn't have any. It's a puzzling situation.
Hmm.
Enigma. Yeah. And then we have this line: ever recurs. Well, whatever recurs? Well, she means birth, the birth of man.
Okay. Okay.
See, his brief appearance on the earth, on this puzzling earth, mystifying earth, ever recurs. He comes back again and again. She acknowledges that.
Hmm.
But it doesn't
Hmm.
bring any high result to this
Okay.
wanderer through the eon rings. The eon rings are these different ages of the universe.
Okay.
We see them like that shut his life in their vast longevity. Longevity is duration of life, long life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, she's just so negative about him because she has such pain in her. She's negative about life.
Yeah.
And so you continue a little more, and then I'm going to read something from Shakespeare for you.
Okay.
It's his
Okay.
soul's
But I
hearts.
was also thinking, Narad, like
Yes.
because how she's mentioning here, like cosmic tragedy. I was just thinking, like, in a way, like she has until then, like the way she's speaking now, she has forgotten like how queen of a life she had, or how a beautiful daughter she had, and who, I mean, it willingly she had sent away to like find Satyavan, and she's only like becoming so tragic because of Narad's one comment, and how much, like, even in personally speaking also, suddenly, like when something bad happens, how I get so focused into that and forget the past, or like forget the good things that has happened. And in a way, like how this is explained is like the magnified version of how man can really like get trapped into our own smallnesses when something does not go in our wish or in our way.
Very true. You're absolutely correct. And then we have to remember also that she says, "Why do you want this boy who may be so dark and carry evil with him?"
Yeah,
Remember in the beginning, she says that
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
Savitri. Find somebody else that your
yeah,
life be a little more pleasant. But when Savitri refuses
yeah,
and says, if it's 12 months, that whole 12 months that's my life,
yeah.
then her mother gets so upset. And even though she's a very intelligent woman, very brilliant, very dignified, beautiful woman, all of this is forgotten in her pain. And now it's her pain that's speaking. Her negativity is speaking.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so carry on.
His soul's wide search and ever returning hopes pursue the useless orbit of their course in a vain repetition of lost toils across a track soon forgotten lives. All is an episode in a meaningless tale.
Well, man's wide search with his soul and the hopes that return again. She doesn't
Mm,
give them any credit at all. She said he pursues the useless orbit of their
mm,
course, of this
mm,
course, the returning hopes and the wide search, in
mm,
a
mm,
vain repetition of lost toils,
mm.
efforts,
Yeah,
across a track of
yeah.
soon forgotten lives.
Mm,
And then she says, all is an episode in a meaningless tale.
mm,
Why is it all? And wherefore are we here?
mm,
Well, Sri Aurobindo spoke very highly of Shakespeare, of course, very highly.
mm,
When they asked him, were you Shakespeare? He said, no, 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 that's too strong for me.
mm,
So here's what Shakespeare says. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
mm,
Powerful, huh? And very
mm,
much what she's saying too. Why is it all and wherefore are we here? Everything's an episode in a meaningless tale. So she says these two lines that are hinting almost exactly at what Shakespeare says, that
mm.
that we creep our petty pace
Hmm.
of from day to day, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow we do it.
Hmm.
To the last syllable of recorded time. He says it continues. And even what has happened to all our yesterdays, all they have done was to light the way to dusty death.
Hmm.
And then he says, out, out, brief candle. That means his soul, let it die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more because he dies.
Hmm.
It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. So Shakespeare's saying this is life.
Hmm.
This is actually life, and Sri Aurobindo says it so beautifully too. All is an episode in a meaningless tale. Why is it all, and wherefore are we
Hmm.
here? But then she continues a little more, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Why is it all and wherefore are we here? If to some being of external bliss, it
No,
is our spirit
eternal, not external.
eternal.
Yeah.
Eternal.
Read a little bit more slowly, focus on each word that it be coming directly from your heart. If to some being of eternal bliss, you can read
If
slower,
if to some being of eternal bliss, it is our spirit's destiny to return, or some still impersonal height of endless calm, since that we are, and out of that we came. Whence rose the strange and sterile interlude, lasting in vain through interminable time.
interminable time, yes. So
Interminable time.
now she's again saying a little bit different. She says, if it's possible
Mm,
that if to some being of eternal bliss, it's our spirit's destiny to return
mm,
or to reach some still impersonal height of endless calm. If that's so, since that we are, and out of that we came, then when did this strange and sterile interlude that lasts in vain through interminable time? When
mm,
did this thing come? This interlude means an intervening episode or
mm.
a period of time, an intervening episode or period of time. So she says, if that's really our destiny, and if that is what we really are, and if we came out of that, notice he capitalizes the T
Yeah,
in both instances, then
yeah.
when did this strange and sterile interlude arise? When did it come? And why does it last in vain through interminable time? Interminable is having no limits, unending time.
Okay.
And now she asks a question, another
Who
question.
willed who willed to form or feign a universe in the cold and endless emptiness of space? Or if these beings must be and their brief lives, what need had the soul of ignorance and tears?
Well,
When, yeah,
yeah, we can we can look at the word feign. To feign something is to make something up, to
Hmm.
invent it, to invent something, to represent something fictitiously,
Fictitious.
make
Okay.
believe, pretend. Who will to form or to fabricate this universe?
Hmm.
Who? She's asking. Is there a
Yeah.
God?
Yeah.
And who did it in the cold and endless emptiness of space? Well, when we are out in space, we can understand the cold and endless emptiness of space. Um, if have you ever read this guy Tyson? Um, Tyson?
No.
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 Oh, I got to get this for you because you got to read him.
Okay. Tyson. I'll also search Tyson.
Yeah, but there are three names. He has three names,
Okay.
and it's not. It's gosh, Tyson.
Poetry.
No, no, he's a scientist, and he's an astrophysicist, I think.
Okay.
Um, I'll find it. It's Neil, Neil, and then
Okay.
DE,
Yeah,
capital
I got it.
capital G. Oh, you got it. Good. Oh, he's absolutely brilliant. You'll enjoy
Okay.
watching him. Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Okay.
His last name is Tyson. Yeah.
Okay.
So he will tell you things that that you'll be startled to hear. They're so extraordinary from the scientist physicist point of view. Who decided to form this or even fabricate this universe in the cold and endless emptiness of space? Then she has another question. Or if these beings must be,
Hmm.
and their brief lives, why did the soul have to go through ignorance and
Yeah.
tears?
Yeah.
And when did this call for sorrow and pain arise?
Yeah.
Now, whence is a word that's a very beautiful poetic word, and it
Hmm.
means from where or from what
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Whence, from where, from what place did this, from what origin or source did this call for sorrow and pain rise?
Yeah.
And then she asks another question, two more questions. She's going on to Narad here.
Yeah.
Or, or all,
Or all came helplessly without a cause. What power forced the immortal spirit to birth?
two more questions. Or did everything come helplessly without any cause, without any reason? She's questioning that. And then she says, was there a power that forced the immortal spirit to birth? That made the immortal spirit take a human birth?
Hmm.
Interesting question, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because now we know from Mother and Sri Aurobindo that it is evolution that has prepared the human birth through many, many stages, from the fish, from the amphibian, from the
Yeah.
boar, from the
Yeah.
animal, from the animal man, from the mental man
Yeah.
to the and to where we are today.
Yeah.
So she asked this question also. What power forced that immortal spirit to birth?
Good.
Powerful. Now, she'll continue.
The eternal witness once of eternity, a deathless sojourner mid transient scenes, he camps in life's half-lit obscurity amid the debris of his thoughts and dreams.
Wow. So she says, the eternal witness, who is probably the divine here, who is a deathless sojourner, um, a visitor. A visitor.
Mm,
A sojourner is a temporary resident or a visitor.
mm, yeah.
So he's a deathless sojourner amid transient scenes, scenes that are constantly passing. And he camps in life's half lit obscurity
Mm,
amid the debris of his thoughts and dreams. The debris is the scattered remains of something broken or destroyed. We could even
yeah.
say rubble or
Yeah. Yeah.
wreckage. Or who persuaded it to fall from bliss?
Mm,
Well, and I think we're going to end there today. And
okay.
and so actually, I think here that the deathless sojourner is actually man,
Mm,
who is a visitor mid these passing transient scenes,
mm,
who camps in this half lit obscurity of life, and he camps amid the debris, the scattered remains of his thoughts and dreams. Or who persuaded it to fall from bliss and forfeit its immortal privilege? Why did man have to take birth, she's saying, and
mm,
forfeit his immortality,
mm,
that which was his immortal privilege?
mm.
And to forfeit means to lose it.
Yeah.
To, to lose it, yeah, to lose it. And um, would you like to read it from the beginning again, and then let's do the
Yeah.
same thing for the next time? Then you
Yeah.
can read it again from the beginning because I think it's helping a lot. I
Okay.
really, I really feel a big progress. So let's do it again.
Okay.
I'll listen to you. His grandeur?
His grandeur he returns to an epic of
No,
doom.
no, oh no, no. He doesn't return. He turns. His grandeur. He
His
turns to.
grandeur he turns to an epic of doom and fall. His littleness crawls content through squalor and mud. He calls heaven's retribution on his head and wallows in his self-made misery.
Good.
A part author of this cosmic tragedy, his will conspires with death and time and fate. His brief appearance on the enigmaed earth ever recurs but brings no high result to this wanderer through the eon rings of God that shut his life in their vast longevity. Longevity.
Longevity, yes.
Longevity. His soul's wide search and ever-returning hopes pursue the useless orbit of their course, in a vain repetition of lost toils, across a track of soon forgotten lives. All is an episode in a meaningless tale. Why is it all, and wherefore are we here? If so, if to some being of eternal bliss, is it our spirit's destiny to return,
No,
or some?
it is our, not
It
is,
is.
it
Okay, yeah.
is spirits.
It
If to
is.
some being, yeah.
It is our spirit's destiny to return, or some still impersonal height of endless calm. Since that we are, and out of that we came, whence rose the strange and sterile interlude, lasting in vain through interminable time. Who willed to form or feign a universe in the cold and endless emptiness of space? Or if these beings must be and their brief lives, what need had the soul of ignorance and tears? Whence rose the call for sorrow and for pain? Or all came helplessly without a cause? What power forced the immortal spirit to birth, the eternal witness of one's eternity, a
Once of
deathless
eternity.
once of eternity, the eternal witness once of eternity, a deathless sojourner mid transient scenes, he camps in life's half-lit obscurity, amid the debris of his own thoughts and dreams. Or who persuaded it to fall from bliss and forfeit its immortal privilege?
Forfeit, forfeit,
Forfeit, forfeit,
forfeit, like forfeit. You're
forfeit.
doing
Okay.
very well. What I'd like you to do for next time is to just pay a little bit more attention to the question marks.
Okay. And
Did
then
quite
pause.
yeah, you did quite well with many of the question marks. I heard the question, but there were a few when I didn't hear the question. And that's not an easy thing, I understand, but you did very well with many of them.
Okay.
So basically, I have to give you 90% today.
Okay.
Ex- Excellent.
Wow. Okay.
All right. So, Prema, see you on
See you
Thursday.
on
Huh?
Thursday. Thank you so much for that. Namaste.
Good work.